Okay, something that I discussed last lecture. Okay, so just to jog your memory, this was the slide. Okay, so what happened is after I went back and I discussed with some of my students, I realized that, okay, you are not very clear about the dots. How do you fill them in, right? Okay, so I'm going to go through step by step with you. Okay, so if you not paying attention, you will miss it. Okay, now, okay, so this was the example. You have a pair of simultaneous equations. All right, equations 1 and 2 as shown. Okay, so as I mentioned, what is different from this, okay, between this and what you learn in O levels is now you have complex variables. Yeah, carry on talking is okay because everyone cannot hear me, then it's okay, right? Okay, now, so as we discussed, you either solve by elimination or substitution. In this case, substitution is better, right? So I make Z the subject in equation 1. Then after that, it becomes equation 3 and I sub it into equation 2. Okay, so now here is where we're going to start the triple dots. Okay, now, okay, so from here, okay, let us simplify, right? Okay, okay, what I'm going to do now is, let me just, get rid of the negative 1. Okay, on both sides. So I will have, let me push it to the denominator. Okay, now, from here, of course, if you want, you can, multiply negative 1, okay, minus I over negative 1 minus I here. Okay, but I'm not going to do that because it's a bit complicated. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, okay, from here to the next step, I'm going to multiply by I minus 1 on both sides. Okay, so that at least there won't be a denominator, so to speak. Alright, so I have 3I times 2IW, okay, plus 2I times I minus 1W equals to 0. Yes? Which one? Oh. Okay, my mistake. So this should be, okay, thank you. Can follow so far? Alright, okay, so now let's expand. Okay, 3I times 2I is how much? 3 times 2 is 6. I times I is negative 1. So 6 times negative 1 will give me negative 6. Okay? Okay, so negative 6W. Right, okay, so here, two terms, so let us do it step by step. Okay. Okay, so 1 times I will give me I. Okay, 1 times I will give me I. Okay? Right, then 1 times negative 1 will give me minus 1. Okay, I times I will give me, again, I squared, which is negative 1. Okay, I times negative 1 minus I. Okay, W. Correct? Can Okay, now this part here. Okay, so let's expand. I times I give me negative 1. I times 1 give me I. I times I is I squared. I squared is negative 1. Can? Okay, cannot this base. Because yes, you are just starting out. I understand. Okay, yes, correct already. Okay, very good. Okay, so now negative 6w, right? This one will just simplify to negative 2 because the I will cancel with this one here. Okay, so minus 2w equals to negative 1 plus I. I times I minus 1. Okay, so this one should be minus 1, sorry. Okay, I made a mistake here, should be I minus 1, right? Okay, so now I have this. Okay, then simplify. Negative 8w equals to negative 1 minus I. Okay, so you look again. Can? Okay, so now I can divide both sides by negative 8. So I have w equals to 1 over 8 plus 1 over 8i. Okay? Can? Your foot, you're not touching the chair, right? Don't rest on the chair. Okay. Okay. So after this, now let us put back 1 over 8 plus 1 over 8i into equation 3. Okay, so this was equation 3. Okay, so let's do it step by step. Okay, so let me copy and paste. Z equals to what? Negative 2i over 1 minus I times of w, which is this. Okay, which is this, right? Okay, now, so let us now realize the denominator here. Okay, but again, a lot of negative sign and a lot of funny numbers. So let's pull everything out first. Okay, so the 2 and the 1 over 8, let me do it step by step. Pull it out all together, I get 1 quarter. Okay, because here also 1 over 8, so I can factor all together a 1 quarter. Okay, after that, right, now I have negative I over 1 minus I, okay, times 1 plus I. So that at least the computation later will not be so tedious. Okay, can? Okay, so same thing. Okay, now let's realize the denominator. Okay, let's use a different color here. Okay. Can? So as I mentioned last lecture, I reverse the sign, multiply it by this number here. Okay, which is essentially 1. Okay, simplify. Okay, so 1 plus I times 1 plus I, right? So negative I times 1 plus I times 1 plus I, that is 1 plus I whole thing squared. So you can use your A plus B squared formula, right? So 1 squared plus 2AB plus I squared. Okay, then denominator is 1 minus I times 1 plus I. Can? Okay, so you simplify now. Okay, yeah, it's a bit more steps. Okay, so numerator becomes this. 1 plus 2I minus 1. Okay, denominator A minus B times A plus B. So it is A squared minus B squared. A squared minus B squared. Okay, simplify further. Okay, numerator now becomes just negative I times 2I. Denominator 1 minus I squared, that's 1 plus 1. Okay, negative I squared is 1. Okay, continue. Actually, it's a very simple number. Okay, I times I again negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. Right, there's a negative sign here. Okay, so the answer is just this. Okay, finish. Okay, so I go back up for you to take some time to do again. Let's see if I can zoom out. Yes. Huh? Okay. Any questions? Any part you don't follow? Maybe to go back there. Yeah, positive, sorry. Thank you. Okay, so it should be positive 1/4. My mistake. What? Negative 1. Where? Yours is 1/4, is it? But 1 over 8 plus 1 over 8i is correct, right? Oh, okay. Okay, I added extra negative sign here. There wasn't any negative sign here, okay? Okay, so the answer is this one. Anyway, these are the correct answers, okay? Can?